Hello, I'm Carol Bundy, wife to rancher Cliven Bundy from Bunkerville, Nevada. I have a message I would like to get to President-elect Mr. Trump. Mr. Trump, thank you for giving America hope again. It's been a lot of years since we, the American people, have felt hope, and for that, I am most grateful. I would like to give you a little bit of history of my family. In April of 2014, we exercised our constitutional rights to peacefully assemble. We used our freedom of speech. We did not conspire against our government, and we did not point guns at anyone, but we sure had a lot of guns pointed at us. We stood for our Constitution. We stood to protect our life, liberty, and property. We stood for the custom and culture of the American rancher. We stood to protect our preemptive vested water rights. Those rights filed with the state of Nevada. Many came from across America and stood with us and beside us. We stood against an unconstitutional agency and we won. Today, my husband, 4 of my sons, and many of these patriots sit in prison for over 10 months being denied their rights to a speedy trial, being denied pretrial release where they could go home and be with their families and prepare for a proper defense, and in our case being denied the counsel of our choice. Mr. Trump, I'm not asking for pity or special favors. I don't want you to feel sorry for me or for my family. I'm asking for Nevada to become a sovereign state, equal footing with the original 13, free from the federal control of over 85% of our land. I'm asking for freedom to reign, and I'm asking for justice to prevail. I'm asking for these good men to be able to go home and be with their families, to their jobs, and to be able to be a productive American citizen. Mr. Trump, once again, thank you for giving us hope. Merry Christmas, and God bless America.
Hi, Mr. Donald Trump, President-elect. My name is Shalise Finicum Finch. I'm currently a resident of Texas, and I'm the daughter of an American hero, Lavoy Finicum, who was assassinated by our federal government earlier this year on January 26th. I'm coming before you to plead for those that are being unjustly held in prison right now, namely the Bundy family, those that occupied the Malheur Wildlife Refuge, the Hammond family, and Joe Robertson. If you could look into these cases and see that justice is done, I would greatly appreciate it. These people are not only not terrorists, they're a huge asset to the communities they're in. Every one of them have been there to help their neighbors, have gone above and beyond the call of duty as a neighbor to help their fellow man out. And they all have families. They all have families that are suffering right now. And it's so heartbreaking that our American government does this. It's like I just learned that Santa Claus isn't real. And that not only is he isn't real, he's a very bad guy. And so it's heartbreaking to hear that our federal government, the one that we think is our protectors, is the ones that are oppressing us. And your biggest thing during your campaign was that you want to make America great again. Well, the thing you can start with is, like, to make America great again, is releasing those people that help do that.
Hello, President-elect Donald Trump. My name is Dally Bundy, and I am in the 5th grade, and I am asking you to bring my family home. My dad's name is Dave Bundy, and my grandpa's name is Cliven Bundy, and my uncles are Ryan, Ammon, and Mel Bundy. And please send home all the other political prisoners. I love my dad very much, and he shouldn't be in there right now. And please send them home. Thank you.
President-elect Donald Trump. My name is Bronco Bundy. I'm 9 years old. I help my dad to come home, help my uncles and my grandpa that they can come home too. I miss throwing the football with him and riding horses with him. Thank you.
Brinkley Bundy. I'm 7 years old. My dad is Ammon Bundy. We meet him especially for my baptism. And then we meet him in our uncles, and my grandpa. Trump, we need you. We need you to be helping us.
Hello, my name is Hallie Bundy, my oldest daughter of Ammon Bundy. Trump, we need your help. Please, please, please deliver our fathers, our dad, our uncles, our grandpa, and all the others who are missing family members and friends. Please bring them home. Our future lays in your hands. We have great hope and faith that you will bring them home. Make America great again.
My name is Emily Bundy. I miss my daddy, and I want him to come home out of jail, and I want him to rock me on the chair, and I want him to lay with me, and I want him to sleep with me. Done.
You want anything about Grandpa and your uncle?
I want Grandpa to go home, and Lucy's coming home, and I want,
I'm Hayden Ammon Bundy. I'm 12 years old. I need my dad home, and so do the rest of my brothers and sisters. We need him home to learn and for somebody to look up to. And I need somebody to look up to and to help learn, to help teach me. Trump, we need your help.
I need my dad because I am missing out on so many learning opportunities. I have learned more from him than I have from any teacher or any schooling program. I learn more valuable things when I'm with him than when I'm in a classroom. I need my dad because I am so much like him. I think and I feel and I act a lot like he does. He probably understands me more than anybody. And it's hard not having him here, especially when I'm going through something hard. I need my dad home.
I hope when Papa tells him, I want to get him a hug and a kiss.
Congratulations, President-elect Trump. Your election was truly miraculous. I believe divine providence was involved. I wanted to show you my hot rod here. I call it my freedom rod. A big "We the People" burned into this panel and quotes from our founders burned into the wood. I built this 5 years ago and I've been taking it to parades and car shows, done some protesting, campaigning a little bit. And I've run across especially young people in these 5 years, and they know we're in serious trouble in America. They know they have no opportunity. They know they're losing their liberty. You said many times you want to drain the swamp. Well, I hope you mean it, because we have serious issues out here in the West with property rights.
Mr. Trump, I am Brianna Bundy, the wife of Mel Bundy. I am currently a single mother to these 5 beautiful girls, and it is not of my choice. Presley is 7, Montana is 10, Adeline is 1, Bentley is 9, and Kimber is 5. My husband, Mel Bundy, has been incarcerated for the last 10 months. He has been denied his right to a speedy trial and also been denied release. Mel has missed first steps, first words, achievements in school, laughter, and so many precious memories that we can never get back. Mr. Trump, Mel is a good husband, an excellent provider, and an exceptional father. He is a good man. Mel has never been on unemployment and has rarely missed a day of work in his life. Mr. Trump, we are seeking your help for our daddy, our grandpa, our uncles, and the patriots that stood with our family to protect our life, liberty, and property. We also seek the release of the Hammonds, Joe Robison, and Schaefer Cox, and also for the prosecution of the men that murdered our dear friend Lavoy Finicum. Mr. Trump, please help us restore our state sovereignty and end the abuses that we are facing out west at the hands of our current government bureaucracies. We thank you, Mr. Trump, and may God bless you and keep you safe.
Donald Trump, President-elect, the man that I voted for to be our next President of the United States of America, I come to you for help. I come to you on behalf of Dwight and Steve Hammond from Harney County, Oregon, who have been wrongfully sentenced to 5 years in federal prison for lighting backburns on their property, a very common practice among the ranching community to protect their property from wildfires. They have been sentenced, and I absolutely believe that if you look into their sentencing, the information that was not allowed to be presented to the jury, if you really look into the laws that they were charged under, I absolutely believe that you will see that Dwight and Steve Hammond need to be pardoned and released from the California federal prison that they are sitting in right now. By the time that you take office, they will have been away from their homes and their families for over 1 year. They should have never been incarcerated to start with, but this came down to a land grab where the BLM desperately wants the minerals and the uranium that is on their property, and they've refused to sell for many years. Along with their sentencing, the BLM requested the judge to put in a first right of refusal for the BLM to be able to purchase their property if they were to sell it. That should open your eyes to help you see even more clearly that this was nothing more than a land grab. Dwight and Steve Hammond need to be pardoned. They need to be set free. I am begging you, within the first 2 weeks of office, within the first 2 weeks of being sworn in as our next president, I am begging you to send Dwight and Steve Hammond home to their families. If you will also watch Congressman Greg Walden's speech that he gave in January of 2016, he speaks very highly of the Hammond family, as does their entire community. These are not criminals. These are not people that should be sitting in a federal prison taking up U.S. tax dollars. They should be at home, ranching on their land and providing for their families. I beg of you, President-elect Donald Trump, I beg you to pardon Dwight and Steve Hammond. My name is Kelly Stewart, and I'm sending you this message from Portland, Oregon. I've followed the case all year. I know what's going on in Harney County, and there is an amount of abuse from the BLM to the people that is difficult to even wrap my mind around. I am a law-abiding citizen. I support our military and our police when they are being righteous and principled. But I can tell you this, President-elect, that our police, our military, our court system regarding the Hammonds has failed us. It has failed us miserably. Please pardon the Hammonds. Please set them free to go back to their families. They do not belong in federal prison. They do not belong in our jail system. They are not a threat to society. Please look into their case and pardon them. I beg this of you, Donald Trump. Thank you.
Good evening, President-elect Mr. Trump. My name is Dolores Kelly, and I am the mother of an American patriot being held in Pahrump, Nevada. His name is Todd Engel, and he's in with a lot of our good other honest patriots, Cliven Bundy and his sons, and a lot of others. I come to you tonight. First, I want to give you a congratulations, and I want to praise our Heavenly Father, because he heard us all when we prayed and cried out that our America could be made great again. Mr. Trump, I'm asking you that whatever you can do to get these men, their little children they face Thanksgiving without their fathers, they're facing Christmas. So we pray that whatever you can do to help us, we would really appreciate it. We'll be praying for you, for your protection and your divine guidance to lead you. And we'll pray for you every day. And God bless you, and anything you can do to release our beloved patriots, we really appreciate it. In Jesus' name we thank you. Amen.
President-elect Trump, when you come into office, you need to pardon Dwight Hammond and Steve Hammond and release the Bundys from prison. We are counting on you to get this corrected. Pardoned, release these political prisoners, and put us back on track in America and rein in the federal government. The Department of Interior, the BLM, the U.S. Forest Service, the Fish and Wildlife Department, all these guys are armed to the teeth and they are trampling on the rights of the people within the states, and we need it to stop.
Mr. President-elect Trump, I have a message for you. My name's Lindsay. I'm a patriot, I'm a mom, and I believe in our country. Like you, the media has demonized us. We need to correct a narrative. You want to make America great again. We want to restore our Constitution. We are not anti-government. We want our federal government to follow the law of the land, which is this Constitution. We want them to be within the confines of this Constitution. Right now we have a lawless, abusive, overreaching federal government who murdered Lavoy Finicum. Joe Robertson is a 77-year-old Navy vet from Montana. Mr. Robertson put a stock pond on his land. God gave us water. Why do we have a man in prison for water? That's his service dog, Sasha. Joe suffers from PTSD. They have not provided him his medicine. He's had symptoms of a stroke, heart problems, passing out. To this day, he has not been to a hospital to get proper treatment like a CT scan. We want Joe home or to a hospital, but really, for putting a pond on his land, the EPA is the one that went after him. The federal government overreaching agency went after him. We want Joe set free. We are in fear for Joe's life because he's getting denied this medical care. They've taken away Joe's phone calls for 60 days and his commissary for 60 days during the holidays. His friend Ollie Smith lives here in Colorado, and I live 15 minutes away. They are denying Joe visitors. No one is allowed to go see him. They will not call his family back. This is no way to treat a fellow veteran. You say you want to help vets? We ask you to get involved and learn Joe's story and do the right thing, sir. This federal prison is abusing human beings. It's not just Joe. We have a saying around here, sir. It doesn't matter how it ends, it matters how you stand. Lavoy stood for us, and we are his voice now that he's been assassinated by the government. Joe stood for us when he served his country. He stood again when he didn't want to plead guilty to these trumped-up charges from the EPA to set a precedence that other landowners could get railroaded and abused. We want this Constitution restored. You're going to be taking an oath very soon, sir, and we want you to take that oath serious. You want to make America great again? We're going to hold you to that promise, Mr. President-elect Trump. It doesn't matter how it ends, it matters how you stand. We ask that you stand with us. Mr. President Trump, we need you. Stand for us, please. Stand with us. God bless you.
We thank each and every one of you. We love each and every one of you. And I'm going to tell you something right now. What's going to get us through this thing is prayer, everybody. I'm telling you, that's what got us through Oregon. Through prayers. God answered all of your prayers in Oregon. And the same thing is going to happen here in Nevada. Don't forget, we're going to get out of here. We have 100% faith, no doubt about it, that we're going to get out of here through your prayers. And also, your prayers were answered when Donald Trump was elected President of the United States to save our country from communism.
Lock her up!
And we're so close to communism. And Donald Trump, our President-elect, we have faith also that he's going to do the right thing. He's going to let us out, and we're going to get to the work of restoring the land back to the people of each state. We're excited about that. But you guys, we need your prayers. Everyone, get the word out right now. If I could rally anyone, as I always do, I want to rally each and every one of you to call upon everyone to pray. Pray for our country. Pray for our President-elect Trump. Pray that we get out sooner versus later, and pray that we are no longer hostages of the Obama administration. We are literally right now hostages of the Obama administration. If we were in any other country, they would send military force to come get us out. But because we're here in the United States of America, we're going to do it through prayer, and then we're going to get out and help make America great again. God bless each and every one of you.
Love you, Pete.
Love you, Pete.
President Trump, my name is Sherry Briggs, and I live in Yakima, Washington, and I voted for you for president. I just want to ask you to please consider looking at our patriots, our political prisoners. We have Joe Robertson, who's a 77-year-old veteran, Vietnam vet with severe PTSD, and he is serving time in Federal Prison Bureau of Prisons in Colorado. He built some stock ponds on his property in Montana, and the ponds were filled up with groundwater, and he used them to help fight firefighters in his fight fires in his neighborhood, and he had the right permits, and the EPA came after him, and they also falsified documents, and his public defender failed at defending him and providing evidence that he had another impact study done that that showed that he did not pollute the waters. And President Trump, please look at Congress. Congress is the one who has given all these ABC agencies of the federal government the power. They're the ones who, the unelected bureaucrats, write regulations and enforce them by law. And Congress does not define these definition of the words, and it's left up to the federal government, like the EPA, the USDA, the FDA, like navigable waters, if they pollute the navigable waters. That's even in question right now as to what constitutes navigable waters. And Congress has left it up to the EPA to decide that. And that is what happened to Joe. He is unjustly prosecuted and sent to prison. And also, you know, that's under the Clean Water Act.
If the American people would just find the truth and realize how they're being defrauded, there'll be an uproar. In order for us to restore our republic to Donald Trump and DLM, these are the following things. Release the Hammonds, the Bundys, and our patriots from jail. Incarcerate these corrupt politicians, lawyers, judges, and lobbyists. Abolish the American Bar Association, the Federal Reserve, and the IRS. Abolish CPS, the BLM, Department of Fish and Wildlife, the EPA, the USDA, and the U.S. Forestry. And bring our military back home. Restore the VA. With all these minerals that we have in our ground, rather than giving them to Russia, China, Iran, and ISIS, why don't we grab all those minerals and give it to the people and restore the VA? Give the health, the benefits our military deserves.
Dear Donald Trump, my name is Mike Soror, and I'm a patriot from Bay City, Michigan. The reason for this video is for me to reach out to you and ask you to please look into the case of the political prisoners that are now in prison in Nevada. I'm asking you to look into the unnecessary assassination and murder of the greatest patriot of our time, Mr. Lavoy Finicum, whose only crime committed was teaching the Constitution. Mr. Trump, one of the political prisoners that have been imprisoned for the last 12 months nearly, almost a year, is a man named Pete Santilli, who has a broadcast. He is a reporter, and his First Amendment rights have been ripped from him, and he has been imprisoned and charged with conspiracy. One of the things that you've talked about in your campaign was taking on an overreaching federal government. Mr. Trump, I'm asking you to fulfill that promise and to stand for the ranchers and the farmers and all of those who have been imprisoned, falsely accused. I'm asking you to look into their situations, and I'm asking you to please please intervene and do something. Pardon these men, for they have done nothing wrong. Instead, I'd like you to go after people such as Harry Reid, Judge Navarro, and all the other corrupt politicians that have had their nose into this. This is a dire time, Mr. Trump. And there's not many patriots out there that are willing to stand up for what is right. But there are a few of us, and the numbers are growing. And I'm asking you wholeheartedly to please stand for the Constitution of the United States, Mr. Trump. Please pardon these men and go after those that murdered and assassinated the greatest patriot of our time. Thank you.
Hey, Donald Trump, Gavin Syme here. Now, it's no secret that I'm not real confident in you as a president, and sometimes the things you say have concerns that are pretty serious with our Constitution and liberties, because all men are created equal, and if we don't stand for that truth, then America's lost. And so what I want to know is, do you really want America to be great? Or is it just a political line? Because we've got political prisoners like Joe Robertson in prison for building a pond. We've got patriots in prison like the Bundys and the Hammonds. We've even got people from your own campaign that are in prison. And I want to know what you're going to do. I want you to step up and be the voice. You have this amazing, powerful voice, and you have to use it for good, or it's no good at all. And it's not just patriot groups. You know, we get distracted and people thrive on hate and division, but what really matters is liberty and justice for all. It's not the speech we like that has to be protected. It's the speech we don't like. It's not the protest that we're in favor of that we have to stand up and defend so much as the one from the people that we disagree with. Law and order means liberty and justice for all. And so the first thing we need to do is we need to start standing up against this corrupted justice system that gives no due process and no justice and is filled with kangaroo trials and false charges. We need to start addressing our courts and their corruption and the political prisoners all across this nation. It's time to break out the pardon pen for people from the Hammonds to Jeff Winehouse, to appointing attorneys that will drop these ridiculous charges on people like the Bundys and many others from the Bundy Ranch in Oregon and other protests all over the nation. If we want to make America great again, we've got to stop the corruption and make this not about party and faction, but about liberty and justice for all. So if you do that, if you step up and do that, I'll be rooting for you. But if you don't, you're just another one of the establishment. You're just part of the swamp. And I think that swamp needs to be drained.
President-elect Trump, you don't know me. Let me introduce myself, sir. My name is Bran Thornton. I'm a veteran of the Bundy Ranch standoff and also the Malheur Refuge. I've been actively involved for some time now with the Patriot Movement and to reclaim our land from the Bureau of Land Management and the Forest Service, the Department of Agriculture, and these government overreaches. Sir, we have patriots and we have individual people, landowners that have been incarcerated for no other reason than the government, which has been, by usurpation, has been taken over by nefarious peoples to steal the land from these people. For example, the Hammonds and Joseph Robertson and others. And they have been incarcerated under egregious laws, egregious actions. And these laws are not laws at all, but the color of the law. We have patriots that are now currently incarcerated for no other reason than they went to defense to their fellow man. We have patriots that are incarcerated in Oregon and in southern Nevada, and the Bundy family. Sir, we're appealing to you as a Christian and as our future commander-in-chief to pardon these individuals. These are the best men on the face of this earth. These are good men. These are family men. These are loving men. Sir, as a Christian, the Lord told us to love our fellow man and to love ourselves as we love ourselves. I'm sure that you will find this in not only your best interest, but the best interest of our country. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Sage Bundy and I'm the daughter of Ryan Bundy. From a very young age, I learned that there are 3 things that my dad cares about most in this world: his family, his freedom, and his God. Ever since I was little, I knew that my dad would always give his all for his country and the people that he loved. For almost a year, my dad has been incarcerated both in Oregon and in Nevada, and it is high time that we get him out. We the people are fed up with a federal government overreach, and it's high time that those with the proper authority step up to the plate, start doing their jobs, get our men out, and start fighting against a federal government overreach and against the powers that be. Thank you.
Mr. President-elect Donald Trump, my name is Sherry. This message is coming from Rogue River, Oregon. I'm coming to you about a gentleman named Mr. Joe Robertson, who is a Navy vet, 77 years old, being held in a federal prison for retaining his water on his own property. Mr. President-elect, this is our God-given right, is having water and being able to retain our own God-given water. I ask you, Mr. President-elect, to pardon him and to make sure you look into him and investigate and read the facts. Mr. President-elect, I also come to you and ask you to look into a gentleman named Mr. Lavoie. He's a husband. He was a father. He's a grandfather. He was murdered coming to my state here in Oregon. Why? Because he wanted to teach people the Constitution and teach people their God-given rights. I also ask that you pardon the Bundys, Mr. Cliven Bundy, Mr. Melvin Bundy, Mr. Ammon Bundy, and Mr. Ryan Bundy. These are good patriot men, family men, cowboys, fathers, husbands. Mr. President-elect, they've been away from their families for over a year now, and they deserve the right to go home. All these folks did was protect their land and their cattle. Mr. President-elect, they are willing to pay the state the money they owe. I believe in all our patriots, and I believe that you should pardon them, Mr. President-elect. Thank you for listening, and thank you, everyone.
President-elect Trump, we're coming to you on behalf of Dwight and Stephen Hammond of Harney County, Oregon. They have been arrested and are in federal prison for back burning, which is a common practice that ranchers often do. They should have never been incarcerated, and this was simply a land grabbed by the BLM, who wants their property. They want it for the minerals, especially the uranium, and so much so that after the Hammonds were charged and found guilty, they had the judge in the case put on a first right of refusal for when the property was sold, which should cause anyone to raise their eyebrows at the situation. The BLM has been harassing not only the Hammonds, but several other ranchers and other people out here in the western part of the United States. And it's simply, they want to control all the land. The Hammonds need to be pardoned and sent home to be with their families and to take care of their ranches. And we're asking you to please take care of this as soon as you're in office. This is David Anderson and Kayleen Canfield from Overton, Nevada. We have been following this case for the last year, and we are law-abiding, tax-paying, hard-working citizens of this great country, and we would like to have our voices heard in this matter, and we're pleading you to please help. And we're very proud that you're going to be our president. Thank you.
Hi, President-elect Trump. I'd like to congratulate you on your win. I think it was phenomenal and outstanding, and I appreciate all the energy, time, money, and everything that you put into this election. And I wish you nothing but great success for you and for all of us. I'd like to talk to you about the Hammonds. The Hammonds are a family out of Burns, Oregon. I know you've heard of them, Dwight and Stephen, and they have been, in my view, put back in jail unjustly. The judge handed them a sentence. They did their time. They went home back to their normal lives, and then the U.S. Attorney appealed the decision of the judge and required, and then the next judge ruled that they had to complete a mandatory minimum of 5 years. I'd like to ask you if you would please commute their sentences and send them home. And I would like to ask for your help for our patriots. The first group got acquitted of all charges except for one that they couldn't agree on in October of this year, but the next set is supposed to start in February. And then in Nevada, we have the trial for Cliven Bundy et al. Versus the U.S. government for Bundy Ranch in 2014. I'm asking for pardons for all of them. I'm also including Joe Robertson out of Montana. He got permission to build ponds on his land and then turned around and got put in jail because the EPA came in and said, hey, you can't do that. We control the water. So he was put in jail and is 77 years old and an honorably serving vet. And I find this to be appalling. The most recent case I heard was of Jeremy Kettler out of Kansas. And Jeremy, in state law, Kansas says that, hey, you can use whatever's produced in Kansas. And that any federal agents that come in and try to break that law are guilty of a felony. And instead of the state attorney general standing up for that law and defending that law when Jeremy Kettler was prosecuted, that didn't happen. Attorney Kobach decided that he would remain silent on that and allowed the federal government to pursue charges against Jeremy. I think all of these cases are extreme overreach of the federal government, and I believe that it is appalling to normal people just trying to live their lives, standing up for their neighbor the way we're supposed to, that these kind of outrageous criminal charges are being sought after, and in some cases convictions, and these sentences are astronomical. Anyway, thank you very much for your time. Please get us out of the UN. And I wish you all success for your presidency, and I'm praying for your guidance and your safety daily. Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
Hi, my name is Anna. I am wanting to say to President-elect Donald Trump, please release our patriots, every single one of them. They've done no wrong. They've stood up for God and country. They love their family. They love their brothers and sisters. And most of all, they love our country, and they've done nothing wrong. They have held tight to the Constitution. They're good American citizens, and they deserve to be home with their families. I am just another citizen whom has been continually praying and praying and praying for our dear brothers and sisters that are fighting the unjust system and have been for months now. And I'm just begging you from the bottom of my heart, please release every patriot back to their families and send them home where they belong. Thank you very much, and God bless.
Hi, my name is Sarita Rivera. I live in Oregon. I'm married. My husband and I have raised probably over 40 kids. We have foster kids, adopted kids, biological kids. We're ranchers full-time. We do a little logging on the side to help us make ends meet. And I'm recording this message to President Donald Trump. I am asking that you release some people we have in jail in Nevada, the Bundys. I'm asking that you release the Hammonds in California and all our political prisoners that have done no crime. I guess if you consider standing up for our freedoms a crime, then it's a crime. But you know, these men have families, they have spouses, they have kids, and I encourage you, if nothing else, take the time to go meet these people, meet their families, and, you know, make your own decision. But I am asking, because I have got to know some of these people, that you just release them. If you have a heart at all, please release them. And, you know, we need to get the Constitution back in America. We need to all have our freedoms back. And we want the world to be great again. Thank you for your time. Oh, yes, please get to know Mrs. Lavoy Finicum. She's awesome, and she will never have her husband home again. Bye.
Hello, President-elect Trump. My name is Lisa Scott. I'm sending you this video message from Fresno, California. I'm extremely concerned about the political prisoners being held in Nevada, California, and in Oregon. They're all related to difficulties with BLM. And I'm also concerned about the murder of Lavoy Finicum and the conspiracy that surrounded his murder. Mr. President, you campaigned on the promise to make America great again. One of these pillars of our democracy and our republic is to be able to speak truth to power. These men are being held unjustly. Please have them released immediately. God bless you. God bless the United States of America. And I wish you the very best in your presidency. Thank you.
Good afternoon, President-elect Trump. My name is Daniel Brady. Congratulations on your victory. One of the things that I would like you to look into is investigation into the Hammonds and why they're still in prison. In my opinion, they should not be there. They may legally be required to be there, but being legal and being right is not necessarily the same thing. So anything you can do to have a look into that, I would appreciate it, and I'm sure the rest they would as well, and anybody else. Thank you, and congratulations once again.
Hi, my name is Teresa Achenbach. I would like to address to you President-elect Donald Trump regarding imprisonment of innocent, good, honorable American people. My husband and I have been supporting and standing for the Bundys and many, many other patriots who were involved. I can't even list them all because there is so many. They have all been wrongfully accused of a crime that they have not committed. What? Just for standing up for all of our God-given and constitutional rights? Where has America gone, President? We need to restore America's integrity and principle. We are asking you to please look into your heart and free these people out of the tyranny of what our government has imposed onto these innocent people. We ask you, President-elect Donald Trump, to please work very hard and get these people out of jail. please do not leave any of them behind so that they may all be home with their families. They don't deserve this kind of treatment. Thank you kindly, President-elect Donald Trump, and God bless you and your family.
Hello, this message is for President-elect Mr. Donald J. Trump. You made promises about the Constitution. You have mentioned, of course, you've also mentioned, of course, land rights and state rights, rights of the people, and things of that nature. You also know that one of your campaign managers from New Hampshire, Mr. Joe DeLemus, was arrested for participating in a protest down in Bunkerville, Nevada, back in 2014. The reason I'm really like to send this to you, Mr. Trump, President Trump. It's good to say that, by the way. We've got some people who are still incarcerated for standing up for their rights and the rights of other people, other Americans, fellow citizens. We desperately need you. We elected you for a reason. Your election has given us hope. We realize that it is our duty to make sure that we effect changes in our local communities, and we'd like to work with you and your staff, if at all possible, to help effect these changes. Work closely with you at that. We're reaching out to you because you've given us hope, and we believe that if you listen to what we have to say and act on it, you will probably be the greatest president in history. You have this opportunity, Mr. Trump, to become just that, even greater than Reagan. We will stand behind you 100,000,000%, as long as you keep the promises that you made during your campaign. We've got quite a few people that are on board with this. There's a lot of people that consider themselves patriots in this patriot community. We all love our freedom, and we do not want to see those rights that are guaranteed by the Constitution to be stripped of us. We thank you that you have told us that you've heard us. Now we're depending on you to act upon the voices that you've heard. With that, Mr. Trump, I want to say thank you once again, and God bless you. And we pray that you'll just keep your campaign promises to the American people that got you elected in the first place. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Angela Bundy. I'm the wife of Ryan Bundy, daughter-in-law of Cliven Bundy. I want to say congratulations on your win. We were praying for you, and we are really excited to get some better leadership in this country. I am grateful that you are taking the time to watch these videos and to try to understand some of the problems that we have faced under the Obama administration. First of all, I would like to just sit on here and cry and ask you to send my husband home. I need him home. We have 8 children together. They're great kids, but it's more than any one person can do. And he was a lot of help. He was a really, really good daddy. And my kids, well, some of them cry almost daily missing him. But what I am going to ask you to do, I would like you to just send him home. But before you do any of that, I would like you to actually look into the matter. Please look into the Hammond situation, the Finicum and Bundy situation. You know, there's a problem in the country when hard-working ranchers are shot and murdered or stuck in prison. My husband, my brother-in-law, my father-in-law, and the others who came to assist our family in 2014 still sit in prison. They've been away from their families. Well, my husband's been gone since January, and they've been denied bail even though there's no history of violence. It's time for them to be able to come home, return to their families, and get back to doing what they love to do and what is good for our country, which is provide food for the people. I know and realize that they are being charged with all kinds of things, and I would just like to say, and I would like you to look into it, the things that we are being charged with are actually the things that they did to us. They were abusive. They were the ones that killed. They were the ones that beat people up and tased and sicked dogs on. It was not us. We were peacefully assembled using our First Amendment and Second Amendment rights. Some people were carrying, which Nevada's an open carry state. There's no law broken there. Please look into the situation. Please, please, please give relief to not only my family, but to other families. Please understand that ranchers would just like to get back to doing what we love and getting back to being free in this country. Thank you again for your time. Bye. Okay, what's your name?
Chloe Bundy.
Chloe Bundy. How old are you? 7. Okay. How has last year been without your dad and grandpa? Bad. Okay. What do you miss about Daddy?
I miss him because he was always caring and loving for his family. My name is Jasmine Bundy. I miss my grandpa because I miss playing around with him, and I miss feeding the horses and cows with him and helping him tend to the ranch.
Okay, Moroni, how old are you?
4.
You're 4? Okay. You miss your daddy?
Yeah.
You miss your grandpa?
Yeah.
Why do you miss your daddy and grandpa?
Because they let me, there was some chasing cows.
They let you go with them chasing cows?
Yeah.
You miss having a daddy at home?
Yeah.
Say, I love my daddy.
I love my daddy.
I need him home.
I need him home.
Okay. Thanks, buddy.
Can you please help bring my grandpa and my uncles home? I miss my grandpa and my uncles so much. Please help bring them home. Please help my grandpa and my uncles and the Patriots out of jail. They're good men and they don't deserve to be there.
Trump, please send our daddies home. We really miss them.
President Trump, I miss my grandpa so bad. Can you help bring him home?
And by the way, if you need a ride to the inauguration, I'm available. We pray for your health and safety, Mr. President-elect. You be safe.